Archangel Michael says this moment was never meant to come quietly. There are scrolls in heaven that have begun to shake with your name etched in gold. And today, 2 hours before the veil thins completely, something long hidden will arrive at your door. The letter is real. It smells of time, grief, and dust, like something pulled from a locked drawer in a dead man's desk. Its sender? Someone who should no longer have breath or voice. This is not a joke or a coincidence. The wax seal is crimson, an ancient emblem only Archangel Michael can break. What it holds will not just change your life, it will divide it into before and after. There is panic in the wind outside your home. Even the birds are circling differently today, as if sensing what has been disturbed. A whisper follows you from room to room, like a breath trying to warn you. The signature on the envelope matches one you saw as a child. It's from someone buried years ago, someone who vanished with your innocence. They were supposed to be gone forever, but their truth was only asleep. Archangel Michael says some inheritances are not given in gold but in shadows and silence. This one is heavy with blood, memory, and betrayal. It is a key to a legacy you were deliberately kept from. For years, there was a deliberate hand blocking your path. You were not meant to know about the house on the hill or the deed buried beneath old roots. A family member you once trusted signed it away behind your back. They wore grief like a mask but met secretly with lawyers and notaries. You were the rightful heir, but your name was crossed out in ink that disappeared under fire. Everything that was yours was sold for pennies in back rooms and smoky halls. The truth has been hunting them ever since. That's why they can't sleep at night without locking every window. That's why they've looked older than they should, because guilt stains deeper than age. Inside the envelope, you'll find not just words, but proof. Photographs, signatures, dates, and voice recordings taken without permission. It is all real, and it is all damning. A mansion you never knew about. A land estate signed over by force while you were still too young to speak. A bloodline oath broken for greed, and now heaven has issued a divine correction. There is someone else who knows. They were warned in a dream last night, by a figure made of flame and wings. They woke screaming your name and haven't stopped pacing since. Ashes are falling from a broken photo frame in their hallway. Old memories they tried to bury are seeping through the wallpaper. The guilt is speaking now, even when they try to remain silent. This letter comes wrapped in divine fire. It will not burn your fingers, but it will burn every lie built against your name. Archangel Michael says it is time to reclaim what was stolen under a moonless night. You'll notice strange things the moment you open it. The air will grow still, like the world is waiting for your reaction. Your ears will ring faintly, as if someone is whispering through time. You were lied to your entire life. The person who swore to protect you was the one who betrayed you in secret. They used love to cover theft, and silence to hide your destiny. There's a child's drawing tucked between the pages. You made it once, decades ago, and it was never meant to leave your hands. But it's here now, proof that someone was watching you when you didn't know. They said you were too weak, too unstable, too emotional. But really, they feared what would happen if you ever knew the truth. Because the power attached to your inheritance isn't just money, it's spiritual authority. You are not just inheriting wealth. You're inheriting responsibility, vision, and divine bloodline power. This is why the demons around you have been more active lately. You've been sensing something was wrong. Waking at strange hours, hearing knocks when no one is there. Those were warnings, gentle at first, but now they roar like a storm. A candle will flicker unnaturally the moment the letter is opened. It will burn blue, not from heat, but from divine presence. That's how you'll know Archangel Michael is there with you. Someone else is on their way to stop you. They felt the shift in the spirit world and are rushing to your location. They know the letter has surfaced, and they'll do anything to silence it. But they are too late. Heaven has issued its command. No man, no lie, no force of darkness can stop what's about to be revealed. You'll feel the betrayal like a dagger in your chest. But alongside it will come liberation, as if your soul has been unshackled. This is what justice from heaven looks like, slow, precise, and thunderous. You will cry. Not from weakness, but because the truth will wash you clean. Every secret, every whispered lie, every stolen moment will finally collapse. The inheritance includes land that borders sacred territory. There are markings on the trees, ancient ones, blessed before your birth. You were meant to be a guardian, a restorer, a divine watchman. There is also a journal inside the package. Its pages are written in code, but Archangel Michael will guide your understanding. You'll begin to decode it, and within, you'll find the name of the one who cursed your family line. That curse ends tonight. Not because you begged, but because heaven has declared time's up. Even now, the one who betrayed you feels their power draining. The letter is heavier than paper. It carries spiritual weight, a transfer of lineage, calling, and divine appointment. This is why your dreams have been strange, filled with symbols and places you've never seen. The blessing is not just material. It includes wisdom, insight, and a voice that can command angels. You are stepping into the realm you were denied access to. There's a key taped to the last page. It unlocks a storage room filled with artifacts, letters, and one sealed box. Inside that box is the final confession, written by the hand of the betrayer before they died. You will be tested. Not by the world, but by your own emotions. You must not throw away the truth in favor of comfort. Archangel Michael says this is your appointed hour. The heavens have tilted, and divine light now shines on what was hidden. You must open the letter, read every line, and prepare to rise. A storm is brewing outside. Not one of wind and rain, but of consequence and reckoning. The time to act is now, before it devours all who remain silent. As you read the last line of the letter, a name will leap from the ink. It's the person who once protected you, then turned against you out of envy. They never thought the day would come when heaven would testify against them. But it has. And it is today. May 6th, with only 2 hours left until the judgment of heaven lands in your hands. A golden seal at the bottom bursts into light. You are now the rightful heir, chosen and unshaken. Let no man revoke what God has now revealed. This is not just a letter. It is a resurrection. It is a throne being returned to its true ruler. Stand up, child of divine inheritance. The chains have broken, and the stars are shifting in your name. You were born for this, and nothing will ever be the same again. Archangel Michael says the air around you is trembling. There's a divine dispatch en route, cloaked in ancient light and sealed with sacred fire. This is no ordinary message, it's a reckoning, wrapped in paper and sealed with betrayal. 2 hours. That's all the time left before a truth buried for decades bursts through the silence. And it's coming straight to you, marked urgent by heaven and dripping with the past. This letter was never supposed to reach your hands. It was hidden in a locked cabinet behind a false wall, surrounded by curses and whispered lies. Someone tried to erase your name from history, but heaven recorded everything. The paper is aged, brittle, and smells like smoke. Not from fire, but from years of being surrounded by secrets that burned the soul. There's handwriting on it, shaky, rushed, and filled with guilt. It's from someone you never expected to hear from again. Someone who hurt you, vanished, and was declared gone forever. But their hand still had one more truth to release. You'll recognize the script. It's the same hand that wrote you bedtime notes, and signed away your future behind your back. They tried to repent, but the damage had already scattered like broken glass. The letter carries more than words. It holds a confession and a correction, a divine reversal. Everything you were denied is now being returned, multiplied by justice. They lied to you for years. Told you there was nothing left, no inheritance, no story. But behind closed doors, money changed hands and properties were stolen with forged names. A lawyer's office tried to bury it. Records disappeared. But a dying man's conscience couldn't stay quiet. He left instructions for the letter to be sent today. May 6th, marked in red ink with one chilling note, deliver when the truth can no longer wait. It was kept in a vault, behind a code known only to Archangel Michael. Inside the envelope, there's a deed. A sprawling estate, a trust fund, and land passed down for generations. All of it once promised to you before someone greedy intervened. You feel it now, don't you? That shift in the atmosphere, like a door creaking open in a forgotten hallway. It's the sound of your destiny returning. There are photographs inside. Old ones, black and white, cracked at the edges. Your face is in some of them, though you have no memory of when they were taken. You were loved once. Truly, deeply loved, before jealousy poisoned the air. Before someone close to you decided your future was better in their hands. They dressed it up as protection. Said you weren't ready, too fragile, too broken. But really, they feared what you'd become if you ever knew your true inheritance. There's a second envelope. Smaller, stained with time, and sealed with a gold wax crest. This one contains the names, every person who conspired to keep the truth from you. Some of them still smile at you. Some still sit at family tables, pretending to love you. But they knew. They always knew. A will was rewritten. Your name was replaced with someone else's, someone they could control. But heaven refused to sign off on that lie. Now divine correction is underway. Everything is being exposed, unmasked, and reversed. Those who laughed behind your back will weep before your eyes. The letter is laced with spiritual energy. Your hands may tremble when you touch it. That's the fire of truth breaking every curse they spoke over your destiny. You will feel like your heart is splitting open. That's because what was stolen is flooding back all at once. The pain of what was lost meets the power of what is finally being restored. You are not who they told you you were. You are royalty in a bloodline marked by angels. And they feared you would remember. But your memory is awakening. Buried dreams, strange childhood visions, whispers in the night, they were all signs. Now everything makes sense. Archangel Michael says you were chosen to carry a spiritual legacy. One that goes beyond property or money. One that can shift generations. This is why your enemies fought so hard to distract you. Why every blessing came delayed, wrapped in confusion and hardship. But divine timing cannot be manipulated by human hands. They knew if you ever saw the truth, you'd rise. They knew your voice would carry the weight of justice. And so they scattered your inheritance like ashes. But ashes gather. And from them, something divine is now rising in you. This letter is the final piece. You may find a small key taped to the final page. It opens a safety deposit box in a nearby city. Inside, there's a video, recorded by the person who betrayed you. They confess everything. The deal they made. The moment they realized they couldn't undo what they'd done. Their face is gaunt. Their voice shakes. They beg for your forgiveness, but even more, they beg for heaven's mercy. A storm begins outside. Not of weather, but of spiritual consequence. Every lie is now echoing back to its sender. There is a clock ticking. 2 hours before the gates of divine judgment close for this cycle. You must act, read, open, and claim what is already yours. The people who silenced you once will hear your name spoken in heaven's courts. Their names will tremble when yours is spoken. Because you are not who you were, you are who you were always meant to be. This isn't just about land, money, or history. It's about the calling attached to that inheritance. You are meant to rebuild what they destroyed. There's a map included. It leads to a remote chapel. There, an angel once appeared to your ancestor and gave them a vision, one you're destined to complete. You've always felt watched. That was true. But it wasn't demons. It was angels, waiting for this day. There is one last page. It's handwritten, soft, and glowing faintly with golden ink. It's from someone in heaven. They say they've waited years to speak to you. That you were never forgotten, never abandoned. That your tears watered the roots of something sacred. You are the chosen one in your bloodline. The bearer of justice. The one who holds the sword and the scroll. Archangel Michael has stood beside you in silence until now. Today, he strikes the seal. And heaven roars as the truth explodes across time and blood. You will never be the same. You are stepping into fire, but it will not burn you. It will refine you. A divine mantle rests on your shoulders now. It is heavy, but holy. You have been anointed through suffering. May 6th will be remembered not for what was lost, but for what heaven returned. In full. Without apology. You now carry the truth, the blessing, and the right to rise above every chain they ever tried to wrap around your soul. The inheritance is not only real, it is alive. And it has waited, with breath and purpose, for your hands. Step forward. The time is now. You have 2 hours. And eternity has just begun to shift in your favor. Your name is no longer whispered, it is thundered across heaven. Archangel Michael says the veil is tearing. Secrets buried under years of silence are clawing their way into the light. A letter is being carried toward you by divine force, nothing can stop it now. This message has been delayed by human greed. It was locked in a drawer that reeked of betrayal and dust. Now the drawer is open, and the air smells like something ancient and holy. The letter is shaking. Not from wind, but from the weight of truth sealed within its folds. It was written with trembling hands, hands that once loved you and then betrayed you. The handwriting is familiar. It drips with guilt and urgency. Someone who vanished from your life long ago has returned, not in body, but in confession. You were meant to receive this truth years ago. Before the lies began to rot your peace. Before people you trusted painted over your destiny with false smiles. The envelope bears no name. Only a golden stamp pressed into aged parchment. It looks like a flame, half angel wing, half sword. When you open it, your heart will pound. That's the weight of generations screaming from the ink. This is not just about money, it's about justice. Inside are pages scorched with memory. Each line is a match that sets fire to the lies you were fed. The truth is fierce, unrelenting, and soaked in divine light. There's a list of names. Each one crossed out in red, like blood spilled for greed. These are the ones who robbed you in silence while pretending to protect you. They whispered behind closed doors. They tore your name off papers and replaced it with their own. Then they sat beside you, smiling like nothing ever happened. You'll feel rage. It will boil in your chest as the words soak through your soul. Let it come, because the rage is part of the cleansing. You were robbed. Of money, inheritance, and memory. But you were never robbed of divine justice, it only waited. There is documentation. Property titles. Bank transfers that were made in your name, rerouted by someone you trusted. It's all there, printed in black and white. Your signature forged. Your birthright stolen while you were distracted by heartbreak and survival. Someone you loved orchestrated this. They knew what they were doing. They thought time would bury the truth deep enough that it could never rise. But time serves heaven, not humans. And heaven has declared today as the day of unveiling. You are being called into what was always yours. Archangel Michael says you were watched the whole time. Every injustice was recorded in celestial ink. The scales are being balanced right now. You'll find a photograph in the letter. It's of a home you don't remember, but lived in briefly as a child. Behind that house is land, land you own and never knew. The letter includes a code. It unlocks a hidden vault in a law firm's archive. Inside is a will, one they never wanted you to see. The sender? It's the one person you never thought would speak again. The one who cut you deepest, has finally told the truth. They are dying. And their last breath was used to admit the theft. They left the letter with instructions to send it today, no earlier, no later. Their confession is brutal. Each word cuts, then heals, then cuts again. But it is soaked in regret, not pride. They admit they envied you. They feared your light, your destiny, your favor. So they dimmed your path to steal your blessings. They made deals in dark corners. Agreed to lies that bought them comfort while you cried yourself to sleep. But the comfort has turned to torment for them. They've been haunted by dreams of fire and your face. They saw angels turn away from them and realized the price of betrayal. Now, they beg for mercy. But not from you, from heaven. Because they know your hands are clean and theirs are drenched in divine debt. The letter includes one final gift. It's not gold or land, it's knowledge. A revelation about who you truly are. You were born into a bloodline marked by prophecy. Your ancestors were healers, protectors, visionaries. And the enemy feared that you would rise to continue their legacy. So they tried to erase your name. Tried to fracture your soul with abandonment and confusion. But your spirit held on. You are not broken. You are the proof that the light survives even under chains. You were always the rightful heir. There is a check included, large, life-changing, undeniable. It bears your name. And a note, this is only a fraction. The rest is coming. You were made to rule what they tried to ruin. Made to restore what was stolen. You are the final answer to years of silent suffering. This isn't revenge. This is divine restoration. And no human can interrupt what heaven has released. Archangel Michael says this was written into time before you were born. Every delay was a setup for divine return. Every wound is now turning into a window of glory. You will cry. Not from sorrow, but from recognition. Because finally, you will see yourself as heaven always saw you. The sender's name will shake you. You will remember birthdays, betrayals, hugs that meant nothing. And now, you will remember the truth. They were weak. But you are strong. Their failure only sharpened your faith. This letter is not the end, it is the gateway. Behind it waits land, power, peace, and the fulfillment of promise. You are stepping into the inheritance that breathes. Heaven waited until today. Because today your spirit is ready. Your hands are strong enough to carry the weight of what's yours. The storm they sent to drown you has become the river that carries your name forward. The fire meant to consume you has become the torch you now hold. You are the flame that cannot be extinguished. You are about to be remembered. By every person who tried to forget your worth. By every soul who tried to delete your destiny. They will see your rise. Not in silence, but in sound that shakes foundations. Your name will echo in rooms where it was once cursed. A court date is coming. Heaven's court. Where every injustice will be overturned, every lie undone. You will walk into rooms designed to exclude you. And the walls will part. Because your name is carried by angels now. Archangel Michael says you are the fulfillment of a divine equation. Pain plus patience equals power. And now the formula is complete. This is your moment. No more waiting. No more wondering. The sender will vanish after this. Their task is done. But yours is just beginning. Walk forward. Head high. This is what you were born for.